Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Manipur, Shri Joykumar ji, Honorable Minister for PHED, Printing Stationery, Government of Manipur, Sri Diko ji, Honorable MLA of 49 Tadubi constituency, Kaisa ji, our President of the NFS, who's present here with us, Shri Mariko Lerina ji, our President of the Mao Students Union, the President of the Mao Council, our Reverend Koda, who's present out here with us, Reverend Father Mahio, who's also here with us, all the other members of the Mao Students Union and the Council, all the honored guests who are present here on the stage, and most importantly, all the young Mao Students Association members who have come here to celebrate and be part of the 88th anniversary and conference of the Mao Students Union here at the Makhel Heritage Conclave. At the very outset, I would like to thank God for this beautiful day that He has given to each and every one of us, for blessing us with the gift of life, for blessing us with all the beauty that we see around us. I also would like to thank the Mao Students Union for the wonderful preparation that was made in a very, very short time, I'm told. And also I would like to thank our Honorable Minister, Mr. L. Diko. He has used all the words available in vocabulary to describe all of us. So there are no words left. But I think the best way to describe him is that he is all of those words that he used for us. He has got combination of all of them. So I really would like to thank him for this wonderful reception and the wonderful arrangements that have been made by him. And also obviously the entire local village and the Mao Students Union that have done the beautiful arrangement. Friends, I run a government in Meghalaya made up of 6 coalition partners. And I have about, well, earlier there were 3, but now 2 independent MLAs also. So it's a very complicated coalition I have. And in the beginning, when I formed the government, people thought that this government will not last too long. So the word that they used to use with me all the time was, Conrad, make sure there is stability in the government. So I told them, I don't agree with this word stability. And I'll tell you why I'm telling you this story. Because stability means nothing moves. It's stable. So I used to tell them it's not stability that we need. It is the maintenance of balance which is important. You have to balance things. When things move, and obviously everything moves, time moves, government moves, development moves, politics moves, culture moves. We need to ensure that we balance things. And I want to stick to this word called balance. It's something that we must realize the importance of this word. And in today's conclave, the reason I'm mentioning this word to you is, as a young generation, as you move forward in whatever you do, especially in today's technology-driven world, especially in the way the economics of the world today is moving, it's very fast. Social media is taking up more than 30% of our time. I'm sure some of you are, even now as we speak, are on Instagram or Facebook. You're not listening to what I'm saying. But anyway, that's fine. But that's how social media is. And we tend to then leave behind a lot of things that really matter to us. And that is why it's important to remember that while we move forward in life, in economics, in our overall development, balancing it with our identity, balancing it with our culture, balancing it with our heritage is going to be key to ensure that we are able to move in a sustained manner. And that is why I use the word balance. And that is why I'm very excited to be here today, because I always feel very strongly that it's important in today's world, especially for our younger generation, to remember their identity. Yes, things will move forward. Remember your grassroots. Remember who you are. Because if there is no identity, as was mentioned, then you have no roots. It's like a tree without roots. Very true. So therefore, whenever I get a chance to meet the young generation, whenever I get a chance to speak to you and also to attend cultural conferences like this, I always, whenever I'm invited, I always say yes and I attend it. It's because I strongly feel we need to balance the economic growth with our cultural identity. And only if we are able to combine this and balance it, that's when we'll be able to move ahead in a sustained manner. So that's the reason why balanced word is very, very crucial in today's context. And I must congratulate the Mao Students Union and all of you for having organized this conference in such a spectacular manner. Yes, there are many challenges. Everything will not be perfect in the first try, but you keep working towards it. You keep improving. If things go wrong, rectify them, improve them, carry forward. That's the principle of life. And I'm sure that the start that you have made here today is going to be an excellent foundation for the many, many wonderful things that are going to come in the days ahead. Talking about the youth, I of course, I'm not very old, but of course, I'm young compared to the rest of the political class, you can call it. I really feel that it's important that that there has to be a connect between the politicians, leaders, and the younger generation. And it's simple. Demographically, you are the largest in terms of percentage. And therefore, government needs to ensure that the policy making we do must be with a strong focus on the youth. And I say this with a lot of conviction, because we normally tend to, I shouldn't say neglect it, but normally don't tend to give the importance that youth requires. I have always made this statement, and it's a very, very important statement I believe in. And that is that India's biggest challenge, let me start with strength. India's biggest strength is the youth of our nation. And India's biggest challenge is also the youth of the nation. It depends on how you look at it. If you look at the youth, and you can actually, it's a ball of energy. If you're able to divert this energy and channelize this energy in a constructive manner, it will be India's greatest strength. But if you are not able to channelize this energy, not able to bring it for a productive purpose, it will be the biggest destructive force for this nation. So policy making to ensure that we channelize the energy of the youth. We mold you, we cultivate you, we direct you and channelize your energy into constructive work will be the only way to take this nation forward. And that is why youth policy and focusing on the youth is very important. This conference today is another example of proper channelization of the energy of the youth. And that's why I strongly support these kind of programs. I was very happy to know that more than 1,000 students are camping here. I was looking at the programs you're going to have, and I realized that the real fun starts when we leave. So it's quite unfair, actually. You called us for the boring part. But anyway, but I see that there's a lot of things going to happen after we leave. That's good, because that's how we channelize and make our youth productive. And that message I want to give to the Mao Students Union, that you are an institution now. 88 years you've been there. And the responsibility on your shoulders is, as I said, the larger responsibility is to ensure that you channelize the energy and ensure that our youth become productive. Our youth are in the right sectors. And how we can do that is where the government policy comes in. So I don't want to go into the government policy making. I have a lot of long speech for that also, but I don't think you are all ready to listen to the long policy making speech that I normally give when it comes to youth policy. But as I said, I'm a very strong believer in youth policy. And let me just give you a small hint of it. Otherwise, you guys might think that I'm just being like another politician and not just giving out words and not telling you what facts are there. For example, in Meghalaya, so we started a program called Early Childhood Development. A lot of people don't realize that the child's brain develops most before the age of 8. And we in India and in the rest of the other states of India, we start to look at children after they're 15 years old. So early child development program is very crucial. And we're very lucky that today we're getting funding from World Bank, almost close to about 150 crores for early childhood development program. I think we're one of the first states in the country to be doing that. Then we realize that once the child develops between that age, you need to focus and make sure the right points are put in. After that comes the adolescent age. And this is the age where a lot of children, a lot of youngsters, before the young teen age, that's the point where you socially getting the wrong things. And that's a very, very important stage. And I realize that a lot of states don't have policy in that. So I'm happy to inform you that we have started the process of adolescents, especially girls. We want to give them a special program run for adolescent girls and boys both, but we're starting with girls program. And then we come to the program where the youth policy comes in. Again, it's a very exhaustive youth policy that we have as a state, and we're focusing on something we call one skill, one talent, where we ensure that every youth should get a skill and be allowed to pursue a talent. A lot of you are musicians. I'm sure all of you are musicians. I'm also, semi-musician or whatever. But you know what? Nobody taught me. We just picked up with the ear. We just picked up the guitar and then we slowed down we used old batteries to make the song go slow so that it would slow down and would pick up the notes. That's how we learned. But what if we were to tell you that we will allow you to read music? We'll teach you how to learn and read music, and we'll connect you with the rest of the youth who will also be there who are interested in music. We want to give an opportunity for you to follow your passion and your talent and get at least one skill and one talent for every youth. And this is how we feel that we'll be able to divert the energy and channelize it for constructive purpose. All this being done with the bigger goal of realizing that the greatest strength of India is the youth. And so we must ensure we give all the importance to them and shape them in the right manner so that we're able to get the maximum results in the long term for our state, for the region, and for the country as a whole. Coming to the Northeast, I've always very strongly believed that we have huge potential. The sad part is that a lot of things are happening, but there is nobody's connecting the dots. So a lot of noise is there, a lot of notes are there. People are doing different things. But what we need to do is we need to start synchronizing them. Any note played in an unsynchronized manner is noise. When you start synchronizing notes in the right manner, it becomes music. And that is what we want to do, and that is what I want to do. If the synchronization and the dots can be connected in different parts of the region, and the right tune is made, we can create beautiful music in terms of our economic development I'm talking about for the Northeast. And that's really key for the region to move forward. There was a time when we were the highest per capita income region in the country. But due to different circumstances, it changed. We need to ensure that we get back to that. And we can do it. We can do it. But we just need to connect the dots. We need to start synchronizing our efforts. We need to start realizing that we need to work as a team. We need to start realizing that there are certain parts that you have to do and I have to do, and how we will work together as a team and have a larger goal, larger picture. The international trade that we can do, the trade within our region, the tourism and the cultural aspect. I was very happy to hear the plan that you have for this area. And I was telling the president that not just, Mao Students Union or the government, the entrepreneurs should run this place. You will not be able to make this successful if it's run by government or by the Students Union, with due respect to government and to Students Union. This place has to be run with entrepreneurs, local entrepreneurs. Youths have to be involved in this. Then they will see a success of this program. It's a great project. I'm so happy that you are coming out with this heritage conclave and a heritage village, if I may say, in the long run. And it's going to be a very, very important project. I'm sure going to have great results. But as I said, till you don't involve the community, if you don't involve the youngsters, if you don't involve the entrepreneurs, you will not get the desired results. Sorry, I was going too far away from the mic, I think. You will not get the desired results that are there. So it's great. I once again congratulate all of you for this wonderful program. And I just have another message that I want to give to all of you, especially the youth. And this is a concept that my father used to always talk about. I'm thankful to Diko Saab. He has just mentioned about my late father. And of course, he was inspiration to me and to many others. But I just want to take out one quote from him for today's program. And that quote is about competition. Mr. P. Sangma believed in competition. And he used to tell, of course, a lot of people didn't like him for it, but that's the kind of person he was. He was just a real tribal guy. He just didn't bother. He just said what he felt like saying. And he used to say that the youth of our Northeast, especially the tribals, we need to start coming out of this reservation mindset. And he used to use this word called beyond reservation. Now, I'm not saying that reservation should go away. That's not what I am, because I think press people also here, they'll quote me tomorrow saying, Conrad says, remove reservation or something. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's a mindset that I'm talking about. We need to realize that we will need to compete with the rest of the world one day. We can't go on like this thinking that we will continue to get reservation. You have to have a competitive mindset. Half the time, if you look at a large number of our people who are in different countries, my Garo tribes are there in Bangladesh. They don't have reservation there. But they are one of the best business people, one of the best officials, and one of the best business, officials, doctors, all these different kind of posts. Garos tribe who are living in Bangladesh today are actually doing very, very well. So it's not that our people can't do it, but we have to change our mindset and realize that we are as good as others, if not better, and that we can compete with anybody, not just in this country, but in the whole world. And so the mindset of the youth need to change. You need to start thinking big. You need to start being competitive. Stop thinking that you cannot do it. I want entrepreneurship to develop out here. A large number of our youth, there's a youth migration taking place. We need to pull our youth back. Give the opportunities like you're doing today out here. Build up this place. Allow the entrepreneurs to come and set up the resorts.